That's right, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Driving Maul on Loud Radio, where blokes judge rugby. Sharky, good afternoon.
Fantastic, how are you?
Mate, I'm just so worked up about what's coming on Saturday.
I want to go to sleep and wake up on Saturday morning.
I know, but I'm going to have to record the game and then maintain radio silence for the better part of 2 hours because it's my kid's school concert and it's the little one's first ever, so there's not even an option of bailing on it. Which is, I will punch people in the mouth if they try and update me on the score. I want to watch it like I don't know what happened.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Funny, talk about kids plays and stuff. My daughter's play has been moved to the 5th of October and I was supposed to be at Ellis Park watching the game. Cancel that. I shall
Fair enough.
I shall be staying.
Lots to talk about. The first thing we're going to get into is club rugby and the Community Cup, etc. We're going to be chatting to Duane Heath, the project manager from SA Rugby for the Chelsea Community Cup. Let's get him on the line. Somewhere. There. Doot, 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 doot.
Hello.
Hello, Duane.
Hello.
It's Don from Driving Maul. You're chatting to Sharky and Don on Driving Maul on Loud Radio. How are you today?
Fine, thanks, Don. Fine.
Good. Thanks for taking the time to chat to us, Duane. You're the project manager for SA Rugby for the Chelsea Community Cup. It's heading into year 2 next year, and lots of developments over the recent weeks as the seasons wind up across the country.
Yeah, Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Perfectly, mate.
Okay. Yeah. No. It's things are really reaching a climax now. In a number of provinces, we've got 5 more qualifiers to go, and it's been quite an exciting season, sort of around the country, with results making for some very exciting leagues.
And then, I was having a look at the 10 sides that have already qualified as champions, as the qualifiers of their respective unions is the word I'm looking for. Obviously, Dispatch, the defending champions, are back. College Rovers, who were runners-up, are in as well as Brakpan, who finished 3rd. And then Rudaport, who finished 7th. And then there's 1 or 2... Bloom Crusaders are coming back, but they're coming back as the top finisher rather than the wild card they were in 2013. And then a few first-time qualifiers in Centurion, Hammies from the Western Cape, and Pharaohs from Pumas.
Yeah, it's actually been very interesting. The two major casualties have been from the Blue Bulls in Western Province.
That's right.
Durban, who finished 5th this year, and Pretoria Police, who finished 6th. They've both fallen out, and like you say, have been replaced by Centurion and then Hamiltons, who I think are very excited at the prospect of playing in the competition. And as I'm sure everyone knows, I think they're going to not only make up the numbers, but I think will be very strong title contenders.
Yeah, look, for Sharky and myself as ex-Hammies boys, it's quite exciting, to be honest.
You're half a village boy, so you keep quiet. Duane, Sean here, but good to chat to you again, and thank you. I just wanted to just touch base in terms of what's happening with the wild cards. Obviously, everyone would expect that the next best open team would qualify, but from what my understanding is, you guys, the wild cards are exactly that anyone can get it. And the clubs putting through proposals in order to get the wild cards? Have they been sort of decided which regions they'll go to yet?
Yeah, look, it's very clear. Last year, for the first year of the competition, it was open to any club in the Premier League. This year, it was decided that only the second best open clubs in each province were eligible. Okay. So that's just to accentuate the strength of the teams. And of course, there is a proviso that in provinces, because we have to have a situation where every province is able to nominate a wild card. And so in those provinces where the teams that finish second are ineligible, then the next best team gets nominated, just to allow for every province to be able to nominate a team. And then, yes, the unions and the clubs have been asked to supply written motivation as to why they should propose it.
Just a little bit off. Defending champions, Dispatch, would they get an automatic entry into do defending champs get automatic entry into the next competition, or do they have to qualify as everyone else?
It's written into the rules that should the defending champions not finish as they promised as top open club, then they can be invited, or they will be invited as defending champions. So essentially, yes, the defending champion is guaranteed of going back the next year.
That's good to know.
And then what I wanted to ask you, just how many wildcard spots are up for grabs? What have we got? 15 unions.
Yeah, 15 unions. 14 unions plus Limpopo. So we're expecting around 13 nominations, 13 or 14 nominations. The only province that we don't expect a nomination for this year is Free State, because there are only 2 open clubs in their top division, and Bloem Police are ineligible this year. So we've got most likely 13 or 14 nominations coming in, and there will be 5 places open.
Okay. All right, cool. Look, I mean, in terms of the Western Cape, it's getting quite interesting, because obviously Hammies have been declared they've guaranteed second spot in the league, but Tygerberg, Belhar, and Belleville still have a game to go each, and any one of those 3 could actually finish in 7th spot and be the best eligible open side in the province, which it makes for an interesting couple of weeks coming up.
It does. It makes for a very interesting couple of weeks. I was joking to the Hammies guys that this year they can sit back and put their feet up and watch the other teams having the bun fight for the wild cards. But yes, I mean it was very much. I hoped at the beginning of the season that we might get a situation like this, where at the end of the season, where usually these games are dead rubbers, suddenly now there's some real stakes involved, and any one of those 3, Belleville, Belhar, or Tygerberg, depending on those last 2 games, they could sneak it. I think Tygerberg are probably in pole position.
Yeah,
they need 2 points from their last game, which is at home. But Belhar have struck a rich vein of form, so it should be very interesting.
Yeah, because Tygerberg have to play Belhar, and if Belhar win that and pick up a bonus point, then they'll go above them, and then it's down to Belleville closing a huge gap in terms of a points differential.
Yeah, I think it might. Bonus points are going to come into play here because Tygerberg have 28 and the other 2 I think are 24. So anything could happen really. I mean, you could have a situation where Belhar just need to win that game without a bonus point, and they could even sneak through. So it's going to come really right down to it. Which, in terms of me as a impartial observer, I'm finding it very, very interesting.
Duane, so just in terms of the 2014 Community Cup, where's the event going to be held, and when? Is it going to be pretty much the same as last year?
Yeah, the format's going to stay the same for next year. There's 52 games. There'll be 40 matches in the pool stages. So we'll have, again, 4 pools of 5 teams playing 2 games at home and 2 games away each. The competition starts on the 8th of March. The pool stages will carry on until the 5th of April. And then we'll have the Easter weekend, the Easter Championship playoffs, again in George, for 1 more year, from the 17th to the 21st of April, which is the Easter weekend.
Okay.
Awesome. And then, just out of interest, Duane, I mean, in terms of SA Club Rugby, is it in a healthy place? Are we seeing an increase in numbers or a decrease in numbers over recent years? Because obviously this has got the attention of a lot of ex-club guys floating around all over the world that still follow their clubs, and certainly to see Hammies in there, and I'm sure it's the same across all the regions with guys that have played in those competitions.
Yeah, exactly. I think at this stage it's just anecdotal evidence, but with me having covered the club champs, sort of every club champ since 2003, I've seen right from those sort of dark days where in 2004, 2005, when no one was really interested in club rugby at all, and in the club champs, I've seen the upswing in interest, and a lot of the provincial CEOs and club rugby managers have told me that this year their particular provincial Premier League has been hotly contested. There's been loads of interest, and the guys have very much known what's at stake, and they really want to get into this competition. So I think it's a good start for what the competition had in mind, and I think now we just got to build on that.
A little bit off the Community Cup and more into club rugby. Obviously, the TV side of things is key, and will build up club rugby throughout the whole country. Did KZN were the last really to do it, where they were playing where they were playing warm-up games to Super Rugby games and Currie Cup games, and Western Province did it some time ago. Could we possibly see that coming back? Do you think the guys would be interested in that at all?
Well, you're right. TV is key to the whole thing. We had a good start last year. In the first year of the competition, we had 13 games live on TV, of which 12 were during Easter. Next year, we are cautiously optimistic of getting a few more live games and then building on that. But TV is, yes, definitely the key. And then, I would like to see a situation where, a year or 2 or 3 down the line, we've got sufficient interest back in club rugby that we could possibly justify, going to the broadcaster and saying, well, let's broadcast some more, club rugby during the season, which is really where a lot of these really big matches are taking place, and especially, if you look at the Super League A or up north in the Golden Lions League, you've got big open clubs playing against varsities, which of course you don't see anymore. So that, I think, is quite an attractive product.
Awesome. Duane, well, good luck and enjoy the rest of the season in terms of figuring out who's going to be the wild cards, and then obviously the whole selection process and the drama that's going to come with that, because it always does in sport in this country. When people miss out, there's all kinds of ramifications in terms of vitriol and rhetoric. But awesome endeavour from SA Rugby in terms of getting this competition going. Just from, as I said, from a fan's perspective, we thoroughly enjoy it. So thanks so much. And the one thing I did want to chat about, I see that you've managed to get the Gold Cup into the Springbok Experience launch on the 24th of September.
Yes, I'm very happy about that. When we set about a year ago trying to figure out which trophy we were going to give out for this competition, the Gold Cup came out of nowhere, and I think it was the right choice. And the fact that it's now been chosen as one of the very few trophies that are going to take part of place at the new Springbok Experience, I'm personally very happy about that, and I think it's going to allow a lot more people to see the trophy, and just through that, learn a bit more about club rugby and its diverse history.
Duane, I'm very fortunate enough to be with the trophy when you came through the Hammies with it, but just for the guys listening, give us a little history on the trophy, please.
And the Gold Cup it's shrouded in mystery. It was made in England, what we can ascertain, about a century ago. It was originally made for an air race, an intercontinental air race between London and Cape Town, which never took place. And the trophy disappeared for decades, and then rocked up in 1960 in Cape Town. And the old South African Rugby Football Federation bought it from a jeweller's in Darling Street, and they used it for their interprovincial competition. And then down the years, right up to 2002, around it was used in an interprovincial the old Merit A competition. And then it was lost for 7 years. It was found in 2009, and it's been literally taken out of retirement. And after the Currie Cup, it is the most valuable trophy in South African rugby. It's almost a kilogram of gold. That's
an awesome story. Thanks for that. That's wicked.
Yeah, I fortunately knew it. So, but Duane, that's amazing. So we've got 3 unbelievable trophies in the country. Obviously, with that, the Currie Cup, and then is it the Moore Cup they play for in Durban?
Yeah, Durban is very lucky. They've got 2 very historic trophies. They've got the Moore Cup and the Murray Cup.
Yeah,
the Murray
I
Cup,
couldn't remember which one
over the weekend, and that's 123 years old. And then the Moore Cup. Also, it's got a fascinating history. It was lost. It was also presented for the first time in the late 19th century, and then it was lost for almost 60 years. And then one day, somebody rocked up on the doorstep of one of the Natal officials and said, "I found this trophy," and it was the Moore Cup that had been lost, for nearly 60 years.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing.
Incredible. Duane Heath, thanks so much for chatting to us on Driving Maul on Loud Radio. From my perspective, I really do hope the Community Cup goes from strength to strength, and looking forward to seeing who the final qualifiers are for next season's competition. And all the best for the remainder of this year. Thanks so much.
Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for the support. Much appreciated.
Cheers, Duane. Thank you.
Cheers.